Hi, welcome everyone to the 5th mini sessions. Today we're going to work on arms and shoulders, more specifically on those beautiful swan arms. All right, so to start off, we're going to start laying down on the floor. Make sure that you're on your mat and your neck is long, and you're gonna start by breathing in and expanding your rib cage and breathing out. You ideally, for all of this, you want to have the bottom of your ribs close to your hip bone, and you measure this by putting your thumb and your index finger on either of them. And you want this distance to come shorter, right? So that means that your abs and your core is engaged. So we're gonna start by having our arms up in the air, and we're gonna start with some shoulder blade mobilization. You can do one arm at a time, just pulling towards the sky, or you can do both of them, making sure that you're lifting your whole side of your shoulder blade and putting it back on the floor. We can do a good 5 of these guys. Make sure that you're still breathing. And we're going to transition into overhead. Make sure that your palms are still looking at each other. Sometimes if you have a little bit of tight shoulders, this might be a bit painful, and we're going to do exactly the same. Up and down, and up, down. Making sure that your core muscles are still engaged, and that's the only thing that you need engagement on. Once you've had enough, we're going to repeat this exercise, but with a block. Now, this is going to add a little bit of a challenge because it adds a little bit of weight when you're gonna have it in this position, and you wanna make sure that you're pressing against the block, but not grabbing it, right? So, exactly same thing. Breathe in, and on your breathe out, extend your shoulder blades, and breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. 4 times and out. Last time and out. Come back to neutral in between going on top of your head. And try this again. Now, make sure this is a little bit challenging because it gets heavy. So make sure that your shoulders are not collapsing. You want to have your shoulders engaged on your socket. And try the same thing. Out of the socket and into the socket. And keep on breathing. 3, 4, 5, and come back pressing that block. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Okay, for the next exercise, you have 2 options. You can do this exercise laying down, or you can go into your arms and knees, and we'll do it that way too. I'm gonna demonstrate both of them, and basically is a wrist stretching. And the only thing that you're going to do is you're gonna put your hands facing almost you, and then you're just gonna stretch the back of your hand and hold there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then do the same with your other hand. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very carefully. I like to do this, but on 4 points. So roll to your side, bend your knees, roll onto your side, and come back into a arms and legs position. We're going to do this again, but you want to be very careful on how much sensation you get on this one, because you're going to have your body weight on your arms. So you're gonna put one hand, your fingers pointing at you, and the other hand on a normal setting. You're gonna breathe in, and then you're going to slide your hips back. The heel of your hand may come off the ground a little bit, and that is totally okay. Come back again. You're gonna breathe in and come back down with your hips. Make sure you're still breathing. You're going to come in. And one last time. Shake your hand and let's try the other side. Fingers pointing at you. Make sure you're breathing in. And then you come all the way down. So this may not feel as an important stretch, but like anything, it is very important to stretch your flexors, meaning your toe flexors are important, hip flexors, finger flexors, and all of that. Come back in, and let's try to do this again. This is, surprisingly, it works like magic because it releases some tension on your neck too. And coming back up. And one last time. And coming back up. Shake that hand. Now, we're going to do another one, which is basically the top of your palm. You're going to put it on the ground, and we're gonna stretch the same way. You're gonna breathe in, and on your breath out, you go all the way in. It kind of looks funky, but it's a good exercise, and like I mentioned, it's gonna help release if you have any neck pain. Come back up, and going back down. Coming back up and going back down one last time. Make sure you're still breathing. You want to make sure that you are sending enough oxygen to your bodies. And if this is really painful, take a deep breath in and send that breath to your wrist. Coming back up, shake that hand very carefully, and let's do the other hand. Breathe in and coming back down. You will notice that, like everything, one side has a different feeling from the other side. That is totally okay. We are not even. Coming back in and rotating. Not rotating. I just saw the dog rotating. Coming back in, and that last one, we go in on a breath out. This actually works nicely for your hips too, because you're mobilizing your hips a little bit. And okay, come back. We're gonna sit up tall, and we're going to your next exercise. Okay, welcome dog. For the next exercise, we are going to brace ourselves. Remember when we used to be kids and you pretend that you were making out, like, you know? So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a deep breath in, arms on the side, and on your breath out, right arm on top of the left, you're gonna cross them in front of you, and then you're going to hug yourself. Now, For this, we want to mobilize your shoulder blades. So on the breathe in, you expand your shoulder blades. And on the breathe out, you put your shoulder blades together. Again, breathe in, expand and hold at the top, and breathe out. And hold at the bottom. One last time, breathe in, and holding at the top, and breathe out. And holding at the bottom. Relax your arms. And we're gonna do everything on the left. I'm just gonna turn around so you can see the back of my shoulder blades. Back of my back. Okay. Taking a deep breath in with your arms to the side. Crossing your left hand on top of your right. And you're going to hug. This is what I was referring to, remember this? And then you're gonna take a deep breath in and expand your shoulder blades, holding at the top, and then a breathe out and getting your shoulder blades together. Breathe in and breathing out. Breathe in. I don't know if you guys can see, but my right, not this one, my right shoulder blade doesn't like to move too much. Breathe out. Breathe in. And relax on the breathe out. All right. Let's move on. Okay, so just for some mobilization, we're going to go into hands and knees, and we're going to do your regular cat-cows. You're gonna breathe in and drop your belly, and you're gonna breathe out and tuck your chin. Now you'll start noticing how your shoulder blades can do a little bit of work here. Breathe in and shoulder blades together, and breathe out and shoulder blades apart. Breathe in, shoulder blades together, breathe out, shoulder blades apart. You're gonna repeat this on your own timing until you feel that you're nice and warm. You start engaging your lower abs. And when you're ready, you are going to tuck your toes and just press into a little downward dog, just for the sake of stretching a little bit. Keep on breathing. And when you're ready, you're gonna come back down into 4 points. Okay, for the next part, we're going to start with a little bit of a strengthening. You can keep your toes tucked, or you can just relax them down, whatever you feel the best. Now, we're going to start with a very particular push-up that I like it, and we're going to be doing circles with your elbow, starting by elbow pointing towards you, and then to the side, front, and stretch. And keep on going, down, out, somewhat front, and stretch. Little by little, you can put more weight into it. You're still holding yourself up with the other hand, but if you're feeling brave, you can do it with one hand. Making sure that you're not collapsing on your shoulder blade. You're not just letting go like this. You're always nice and propped up, and it's only your elbow that's going to find that beautiful circle that's gonna serve us well for your swan arms. Once you've done a good 8 to 10 of those, go on with the other side. Go down, out, front, and put a little bit more weight as you progress into these guys. Again, if you're feeling brave, you want to do it with one arm, making sure that you're not collapsing on your shoulder. And when after you've done both of them individually, you will go into trying both of them together. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, walk your knees a little bit farther out and do this on a modified plank position. So you're going this way, and this will get you nice and strong on those arms. Finding that beautiful tone that we will later need. Okay, so if you still want a little bit more of a challenge, go into your plank pose and try your scapula, your shoulder blade push-ups. You're going to put your shoulder blades together and then put the shoulder blades apart. Shoulder blades together and shoulder blades apart. Keep on going until you've had enough, and then come onto your knees and we'll get ready for the next exercise. For the next exercise, we're going to do a very fun mobility exercise, and it's a shoulder mobility that we like to call the tray exercise. So take a nice, you can do this standing up or bent on your knees, or if you want to be just sitting down, however you feel the most comfortable, that's totally fine. You're gonna grab your block and you're gonna hold it like a tray. Again, my hands are actually not big enough to hold the block, but if yours are, don't hold the block. Just make sure that your palm is on the block like this. So we're gonna have our block on the side. We're going to go first, internal rotation under your shoulder, into a straight elbow, going around, and one last turn until you are back where you started. Now try again. Internal rotation under your shoulder, and stretch your elbow. Keep on going on a circle in front of you, and then ta-da! Shall we try this on a reverse? You go over, stretch your elbow, coming back in. Oh, I'm not gonna make it. And ta-da! Let's try this again. Let's see. Wait, what's this again? External rotation, shoulder, coming back in, and there you go. Great. Now let's go on to the other side. By this, at this moment, I think your shoulder is nice and toasty. And yeah, so like I mentioned before, one of your side is going to be maybe not as strong as the other, and let's see how my left side does it. If you're having a block, make sure that you're not, and if you're standing up, make sure that if it falls, it doesn't break anything. Yeah? And under the shoulder, stretching your elbow, a big circle around your head, and coming over. I think I missed that on the second time on the right side. Now, reverse. Over your head, into stretching your elbow, retracting under your shoulder, and ta-da! One last time, over the head, stretching your elbow, retracting and not dropping, and there you go, that's your tray. Okay, for the next exercise, we're going to get into a little bit of a pec stretch that will allow us to open our chest into our beautiful swan arms later on. What's gonna happen, we're gonna go on the floor. You're gonna be laying on your mat, tummy down. And for all of these, you have two options. You can stretch your arm directly on the side, or you can have it on a T shape kind of position. Now, if you want a little bit of more intense stretch, you can always walk your elbow up, but I usually recommend just start straight ahead and then you can manipulate it. Right, so I'm gonna switch over a little bit. Arm on the side. You're gonna put your head on the floor, and you're just, with the other hand, you're gonna push yourself and you're gonna roll into here. You should be feeling this on the front of your chest, and we're going to hang out in there for a bit. Now, if you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can bend your elbow and walk it a little farther down, and you can always find that feeling of pressing down with your shoulder blade. Be very gentle with yourself. You can have two legs over here. You can add a little hip stretch and just put your foot on the ground. And once you've had enough, come back down. And let's do the other side. Start by stretching your hand, your arm on the side, rolling onto it. And once you are here, if you're very, very flexible, I recommend you bend your elbow and then you walk your elbow up. You can add a little bit of pressure with the other hand. And remember to put your shoulder blade down for an added stretch on the top of your shoulder. Take a couple of breaths in there, and once you've had enough, come back down. And we are ready to start doing our swan arms. Okay, on to our beautiful swan arms. As you know, when we did the elbow push-up, we were making beautiful circles with our elbow that go back, out, up, and stretch. And we're going to do the same thing in 3 different settings and 3 different positions. So we're going to do slightly in front of you. We can do one hand at a time if you prefer. And then the other, or you can do both arms at the time, yeah? So, you're going to go first setting on and slightly in front of you. You're going to start with your elbow down, out, front, and down, out, front. Make sure your core is engaged, down, out, front, down, out, front. Now, put your hands up a tiny little bit and we are going to start the same. Same thing, focusing on your elbows, on the circle of your elbows. Repeat this a good 4 to 8 times, but be mindful that we're also going to do this directly on the side and in behind us. And then go into in front of you and you're going to repeat the same. Down, out, up. You can lift your head a little bit as if you were ready to fly. with your beautiful swan arms. Okay, on to our next setting that is right beside you. And we're gonna do exactly the same, lower, medium, and high, just with elbows. Make sure that you're making your circles and make sure that your shoulders are not moving. Keep on going a few times. Again, you can do this one hand at a time or both of them if you prefer. Once you've had enough on your lowest setting, come into the mid section and start again. Be very clear. Make sure that your fingers are not flickering. They're just going with the flow. And when you're ready, take it up a little notch and keep on going. Yeah? A few times. Again, repeat this a good 4 to 8 times, and then let's transition into the back. This is our last time, and for this, I recommend you guys have a nice looking in front of you and growing very tall on your tummy. And same thing, you're gonna do elbows back, out, down, back, out, out. You're going to start to notice how the front of your chest opens and how your shoulder blades get closer together as you do this. And then when you're ready, transition into a little bit higher arms. You'll probably feel the rotation on your shoulder, but might be more mindful of your elbows. And then you can go a little bit bigger into your back. Now, and this is how it's going to look from the front. Making sure that you have your elbows, they're the ones leading the way, and then you can accompany them with your head, and that's how you get your beautiful swan arms. You can start making your own combinations. A last little touch for swan arms is bringing your wrists together. Usually recommended that it's a little bit farther in front of you so that you actually have the mobility to look up with your head, and then coming back down. And that is all, my friends. If you guys, after you've done all of these exercises, if you wanna have a little bit of a stretch, repeat your pec stretch on the floor this way. And if you still feel like you need more, try this guy, because yes, this is a little bit hard on your shoulders. You can always lean back and put your chest up. And that is all for today. Thank you, everyone. I hope I'll see you guys soon, and thank you for tuning in. Bye. Loony. If you were ready to fly with your beautiful swan arms. Shape kind of position. Hi, Luna. Ow, you're stepping on me. Okay, I think we need to cut.